This is the Monster Hunter World video. People want me to see this since I say I'm gonna play the game. Here it is.
Monster Hunter World has been out for almost 6 years,
Yeah,
and yet despite that
know that.
fact, this game is out here breaking records. Hello everyone, my name is Dark Hero and welcome to another Monster Hunter video. Now, with the announcement of Monster Hunter Wilds at the Game Awards show, the community has been going crazy. Everybody is excited about the upcoming game, and as a response to all of that hype, Capcom and their community managers have started the Return to World campaign, and because of that and because of all the hype around the new game, we're seeing huge swaths of people going back to Monster Hunter World and even a lot of new players getting their first taste of the Monster Hunter series as it is currently in its biggest sale ever. You can get Monster Hunter World's Master Edition, which comes with the Iceborne expansion, for just $20. We're talking, in my opinion, one of the best games ever released, certainly my favorite, even as a long-time fan of the series, and because it is such a phenomenal game that offers a unique experience, especially to those that are newcomers to the franchise, with loads of content on offer and immense replay value. We have
so Capcom just did an event where it's basically like, hey, come back and play the game again.
Monster Hunter World showed up on Steam to a tremendous amount of players. As of today, December 22nd, the game has reached a 24-hour peak of 104,000 concurrent players, which is absolutely nuts, taking a place amongst the ranking of the most concurrent played games on Steam. We haven't seen
let me look and see how it compares to the other games. I actually kind of want to see how many people are playing at Monster Hunter World. Is it on here? Let me see, most played games. Yeah, it's number 26. Holy shit.
These numbers since the Iceborne expansion, and again, the game has been released for almost 6 years. So this is a momentous occasion for the Monster Hunter community. Now, of course, I also want to point out that the game is available on other platforms besides Steam, of course. In fact, back when it released, Steam was by far the smallest platform out of all three, the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Sadly, however, Steam charts is the only way that we can track the player base, as PlayStation and Xbox do not disclose their player numbers, but since we've seen this huge...
it's a sample. Right? And so, like, you would assume that if player numbers are going up on Steam, that they're probably going up on other places as well. It's just logical to assume that.
Influx of players on Steam, it is safe to assume that the same has been happening on PlayStation and Xbox as well, especially since the game is on sale on those platforms as well. I've been having a blast going back to Monster Hunter World, playing with my friends, and I've even had many other friends also getting into Monster Hunter for the first time with Monster Hunter World, and it's really fun to see them try it out and slowly start to understand the appeal and inevitably end up falling in love with the series. I also want to give a shout out to content creators that have been going back to World and replaying it, like Rurikan, for example, who has started a new save file and has been streaming his entire journey. Me personally, I'm also creating a new character and starting from zero, though I am going to be doing it with a bit of a spin, and I'll eventually turn that into a pretty cool video that I hope you guys will enjoy. Something else that I think also really helps the whole Return to World campaign and this huge increase in the player base is that, for one, we are currently in holiday season. There are school breaks, a lot of people take vacation during these days.
Well, there's also, like, not another very big fantasy game that's out right now. Everybody who's wanted to play Elden Ring has played Elden Ring. Everybody who's wanted to play Lies of P has played Lies of P. Baldur's Gate 3, people have already played that, right? It's whatever. So I think Genshin, etc. And so right now there's not like that huge big game out that's like just come out. And I think also Baldur's Gate 3 is it's not an action combat game. I think that like a turn-based game and an action combat game, the appeal to each thing is very different. So no, I think it's a huge difference, right? It's a massive difference. And so, like, of course people are going to view it differently. I think that another big reason is, of course, obviously they announced the new game. That's the big reason. That's the main reason.
And since it's the end of the year, there's also not many games coming out at this moment. So it's the perfect opportunity to dive back into such a rich and phenomenal game. Another reason is that, quite frankly, a lot of people weren't fans of Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak. I do believe that Monster Hunter Rise is actually a phenomenal game, despite its problems and not being an entirely complete product at release.
I'll tell you one, this don't look good. I mean, it looks good if it's on PlayStation 3, maybe like one of the release games, but like it don't look good.
The developers to patch in some endgame content that was
so it's a PlayStation 3.
Supposed to be there at release. In case you didn't know, we didn't even have the original ending of the main story. There's a lot more to be said about it. Of course, the game was also released during the pandemic, which certainly didn't help the development process. I also think that a lot of players that gave up on Rise and never got to try Sunbreak are missing out on some top tier Monster Hunter content, as the game features one of the best combat systems in the entire series, and in terms of build customization and variety, I think it's the very best. But having said all of that, let's be honest, Monster Hunter World is vastly superior in many other ways. We're not just talking about the graphics, but we're also talking about the immersion, how everything...
I think that the graphics in the game, like, the game came out 6 years ago, and it's kind of obvious that it came out 6 years ago. I don't think they look that great. It's okay, right? And it's like, it meets the minimum level for me, for like graphics, where it's like, this is good enough. There's a 4K patch. It looks insane. Really? I don't think this looks that good. Yeah, I don't really think so. I think it looks okay, but like if you compare this to like any game that came out this year that had good graphics, it's not even remotely close. And that's my point. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's bad compared to what's come out this year.
Everything feels more grounded and bigger in scale. You have grander vistas, way more impressive locales to explore.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, just
what the fuck is that? Look at this fucking... Oh my god. Oh.
Just think of the Rotten Vale and the Coral Highlands, and way crazier monsters to hunt. Not to mention the fantastic collaborations that we have received throughout the Monster Hunter World lifecycle, the festivals, all the DLC monsters we have received throughout the Monster Hunter World lifecycle, the
That's what I thought it was.
Festivals, all the DLC monsters, and the huge sieges along with the 16-player lobbies. In many ways, Monster Hunter World has always felt to me like a soft MMO of sorts. Really? And whenever I get together with all of these people and we fill up an entire lobby and we start running Call of Taroth or Safi'jiiva, or even if we're all doing...
So, are these monsters... Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Do monsters scale their health with the amount of people fighting them? Yes, okay. Are all monsters designed to be soloed? Yes, okay.
Different quests, but we're all still within the same lobby. I don't know, man, it just feels a lot better to me personally. Even as someone that has been playing all the way since Freedom 1 on the PSP, I simply feel like the 16-player lobbies are a lot more fun. And of course, as I've been playing Monster Hunter World a lot recently, I've been writing scripts for videos that I want to make, guides that I never got to do back in the day.
I want to do a lot of the fights solo, because I feel like if I play with somebody in a group, like, it'll be me dying and then them killing the boss for me. It'll be kind of like Dark Souls. So, like, yeah, I would want to do it solo. It's the same as, like, you know, Elden Ring or anything else. Like, I don't really do, like, summons or anything else.
Because I was busy with college and I had many other things going on, and frankly I was a much worse content creator than I am right now, and I felt like I wasn't prepared to deliver proper guides and other meaningful pieces of content that give you information. But now that I'm a much better player, a much better content creator, I think
Are there iframes in this game? Like, could he have rolled through that breath? Yes, okay.
Provide you guys with valuable information in a really good format. I'll be doing my best to produce some of the best guides for both new and returning players to Monster Hunter World. I've been thinking of doing not only some weapon guides, but also some build progression videos where I talk about the best builds that you want to use for each of the different weapons, but I will be going through the different ranks, so you have a bit of a roadmap of builds that you want to work your way through as you continue along your journey in Monster Hunter World and then into Iceborne. There's also something that I'm a bit ashamed to admit, and it's that I've never actually hunted Fatalis. Back when it was first released, I was honestly not in a great place mentally, and I was overwhelmed with a lot of things going on in my personal life. Yeah, and because of all of that, I ended up getting somewhat burnt out on YouTube and Monster Hunter as a whole, and I kinda stopped playing for a good while. And ever since then, I never got back and actually went to hunt Fatalis.
How long would it take me to kill all the monsters, assuming that I'm an average player? 100, 200 hours? Okay.
Heard so many great things about the hunt, but I've seen very little of it. I've been trying to keep myself spoiler free from that because I think it can provide a really cool and amazing experience.
How much after killing all the bosses? So like, let's say your character just killed the last boss. How much more powerful can your character be? Like, if let's say 10 is the most powerful, where are you whenever you kill the last boss? 1 out of 10. 10 is the most powerful. What's the number whenever you kill the last boss? People are saying 5, 7, 8. Okay, so probably like 6 to 7, I would assume. If you average together everything people are saying, okay.
The big elder dragons and the siege quests certainly have a track record of being really cool and awesome to do the first time at least. And when I hear about series veterans and players...
Behemoth? Is this a Final Fantasy collab?
Players and even streamers that I look up to, like Rurikan and Fighting Cowboy, taking multiple days to take down Fatalis, well, I can't help but be excited about getting into the ring with Fatalis and trying my own turn at beating it. And so I guess I should also take this opportunity to...
Does this game have difficulty sliders?
Say that I will most likely be streaming myself hunting Fatalis for the very first time, because not only do I want to have it recorded for myself, I also want to share that experience with you guys. Throughout the years that I've made Monster Hunter content, I've been able to create a pretty cool community that I'm very proud of, and I want to start live streaming. Maybe I'll make that playthrough that I told you guys about and simply stream the whole way through. I think that would be a really cool idea. Anyways, I just wanted to gush about Monster Hunter World for a little bit. I think that whenever I have... Anyways, I just...
Are there, like, immunity frames whenever you're knocked down?
And simply stream the whole way through. I think that would be a really cool...
Because he went right over him, he didn't do damage to him. Yes? Okay.
Idea. Anyways, I just wanted to gush about Monster Hunter World for a little bit. I think that whenever I have a good excuse to talk about it, I get all giddy. And it's just great to see Monster Hunter World doing so well, because frankly it saddens me when I talk to a lot of people that aren't a part of the big gaming community and they don't know what Monster Hunter is. They've never heard of it. And
yeah, I feel like Monster Hunter, it's almost like it's one of the biggest niche games. Where it's like, I feel the same way that like, there are tons of people that have never played this, and there's also tons of people that are like huge fans of this. It's like their favorite game.
The more people that get to try this amazing franchise, the better in my opinion. So thank you all so much for the amazing support throughout the years, and even if you're someone new on the channel, thank you very much for being here. I hope to see you return in my future videos, and hey, in my live streams as well. Happy holidays, and as always, happy hunting.
Man. I didn't know anything about this shit. Holy fuck. So to me, it's just so fucking funny that Capcom's idea of like a fucking marketing campaign is just telling people to play the game. Be like, yeah, so everybody go back and play Monster Hunter again. There it is. That's the solution. And yeah, there's the video right there. Make sure to give it a like. That was yeah, I like seeing the combat a bit because I like knowing that kind of stuff going into it.